Thanks for staying with us, and this is Newsline proper. Now, each year, a vibrant tide of devotees from around the world make their way to the sacred ocean shrine. Their reasons are as varied as their origins, some to seek divine favor, others to offer thanks, and many to fulfill spiritual obligations. Abdullah Mohammed, on an immersive journey from Ibadan to Ogbomoso, explores the profound and often emotional pilgrimage of these seekers as they step into the mystical world of the gods.
A call for action, an action that has eluded a critical infrastructure with waves of frustration.
We go spend 4.5 hours.
Okay.
4.5 hours. If road good, it's like 2 hours.
You go reach.
Ibadan Ile-Ife Ilesha Highway under reconstruction, but works have halted. Few kilometers drive, the almighty dam and bridge, a geographic divide between Oyo and Osun states. Two civil engineering masterpieces. That mastery long eluded the highway.
Break tire, everything, motor they spoil, speak, everything they break.
Sharp potholes, tearing apart vehicular critical components with victims left in the wilderness, prone to all manners of crime. This latest victim is not alone in the mess. Even the big masquerades have swallowed the bitter pills.
It will happen to anybody, regardless your status. My plea to the minister and the contractor is to do palliative.
The road to the land of the gods isn't all about the bad. Breathtaking stops. Erigesha was a perfect point to relax. The cumbersome climbs and cool baths was a wonderful take-home.
It is an exciting one up there.
A church said to be more than a century old, and its bell tower standing up to Zuma Rock. Some twists and turns, the home of the magical warm and cool water beacons. Our journey was long, so we moved. More than 700 acres of land, 400 different kinds of plants and animals, with the Ocean River tearing through welcomes. Here is the Osun Shrine. We met a British diplomat about to take a tour from the point of entrance to the old palace and the river. The gods were arms open.
Those who crave for the gift of the womb, here is an opportunity for you to come and beg for 1, 2, or even more.
Strolling down the old bridge, the mic was waiting.
So look, there are interesting places to come to in Nigeria, but it is important to pay attention, and if you're British, to the travel advice that the British government puts out. And also we need to recognise that it's not always easy, actually, to get into Nigeria or indeed to travel around Nigeria. So I would, as a message for people who are talking about tourism, I would suggest that Nigeria needs to look at its visa system. I know that sounds strange coming from a British person, but we actually issue a lot more visas to Nigerians than Nigeria does to any other country in the world.
Across the state, it's a lot of opportunities that are available in the culture and tourism sector, and Governor Ademola Adeleke has decided that one of our key angles in this state for this administration is how do we propel Osun State as the cultural destination, be it you're trying to shoot movies, you're trying to learn about the Yoruba race, about the black culture, that Osun is the place for people to come.
Just as we are about saying goodbye, a tour guide from Germany took my attention.
Nigeria is my 79th country, and so I organized this trip, and this was one of the bucket list. Yeah.
No doubt, the global tourism market is turning its test to places like Osun Osogbo Shrine. What needs to be right is the right infrastructure.
That's a hanging fruit there. Thank you, our explorer, Abdullah Mohammed. Now, in a world where individualism reigns, one community in Akwa Ibom State stands out for its remarkable tradition of unity and sharing for over a century. The people of Iwokem village in Etim-Epo local government area have proudly upheld the custom of sharing meals from one plate using a single spoon or cup for all community members when gathered in one location. Now, this unusual practice has remained unchanged despite the influence of westernization. Well, our correspondent, Etienne Ibanga, takes us on a fascinating journey where tradition and unity reign supreme.
The people of Iwukem singing and dancing together portrays a harmonious way of life of this Anang speaking nation of Akwa Ibom State. The name of the village, Iwukem, which means living in unity, is a border community in the Temekbo local government area of Akwa Ibom State and Azumini in Abia State. As an agrarian community, the majority of the locals are farmers, traders, and artisans. Despite their different occupations, they work together in unity to ensure peace and harmony.
The full meaning of Iwukem is one voice, one accord.
Even water, we drink with one cup. You cannot say your brother's teeth is dirty. It's not in our tradition. Or your brother's mouth is smelling. I can't share one cup with him. No. We are born to come to realize that our forefathers, fathers before us, have been dining together like that to show love.
With a remarkable display of communal bonding, the Iwukem people gather around a single plate laden with an assortment of local delicacies. With one spoon, they take turns to scoop portions of local meals, savoring the flavor and joy of sharing meals. This is an ongoing lifestyle, notwithstanding any social status.
What the son see or saw from the father, so he will continue from there. As our children, born and yet unborn, they will come and copy the footsteps of their parents.
Any born of Iwukem child must follow up so that nobody would expect us to be scattered.
We use the same spoon, as you can see. We use this same spoon when we go around. Nobody's afraid that this person will poison me or thereabout, because there is a bond. There is love existing in our community.
There is love among us. We can even eat in the night without being afraid.
I am believing that if there has been any problem in Iwukem in the time past, everything will be over.
As the world grapples with issues of social isolation, division, and inequality, the Iwukem people's commitment to communal meal sharing offers a refreshing alternative. For the people, their way of life is a testament to the power of unity and togetherness. As we live Iwukem, thoughts of unity, where all Nigerians, in spite of creed or tribe, will eat from the same plate or drink from the same cup anywhere, will be a tangible future one day.
Well, I would say that's called love. Economic realities can be daunting. Imagine a snack that can sustain you for 24 hours. Or for a mere 100 naira sounds too good? Of course. Think again. This humble yet mighty snack has been a staple in many Bayelsa and Delta State households. This unassuming food has not only won hearts of many, but provides a lifeline for dealers. Doris Akumoyi uncovers the secrets behind Madiga's enduring popularity and its remarkable economic benefits.
A first-time visitor to Bayelsa State aside the coastal environment will be greeted with a special snack made in form of bread on the street of Yenagoa. Called Madiga in Bayelsa, Adiboloja in some climes, it is readily available, accessible, affordable and unique in its shape and size. Produced by the Jaws from Bayelsa and Delta axis, Madiga is eaten with beans, butter, sardine, groundnuts, pap, and other beverage which complements its digestion. Although our camera lens were not allowed into the production room, NTA News gathered that it is produced with flour, sweetener, baking powder, among other ingredients. The snack is sold by majority of young women, which has helped to reduce the unemployment challenge and hunger among low-income earners.
My husband not there. I get 5 children. I don't do plenty business. No one gree work. This my dig and I they help me now. When we don't sell, we go do contribution.
You go fit use and drink akam, drink tea, soft beans.
Some of them they feel manage them. Sometimes 1 pound we they sell only 100 naira na they enter for us. We go buy waterproof. If you can go chop, we will go chop. Sometimes the total amount we need even see ourselves.
Like this one, we dey buy am 3.2. When we buy am 3.2 for pound, we fit sell am 3.5. Now we dey use 300 they sell am because na keke we dey use carry am come the market. Then this one we dey buy am 2.2. They will go sell am 2.4.
Madiga, which has taken the place of bread, is sold for as low as 100 naira. It's recommended majorly for those who do hard labor to sustain them for the rest of the day.
Just as usual as bread and beans. They go well. People were enjoying Bayasa. In 2 hours, we are going.
I found out that it has so much calorie, but with little or no micronutrient composition.
Despite the gains, the business is not without challenges arising from multiple taxation by some authorities.
One group will give us ticket, 500. The other 2 groups will not give tickets. They just come give us your 500, 500. That's 1,005 we are paying in a day to one particular department. Some days when they come, they will collect 1,000. If you don't pay, they will carry your market.
So when next you visit Bayelsa State, ensure you take a bite of madiga and beans, and you are sure of that satisfaction.
Anyway, for the fact that it can sustain someone for 24 hours, so losing weight just got easier. In a heart-wrenching incident, a young mother in Benue State has lost her life along with her quadruplets due to complications during childbirth. This devastating tragedy highlights the alarming risks associated with inadequate medical care during critical moments. Elias Itiaf brings us details.
A rural community in the Shungo local government area was thrown into mixed feelings as people trooped out to the rural health clinic to catch a glimpse of the quadruplets. What appeared to be a cheering news later turned out to be a nightmare as the mother, after giving birth to the 4 babies, gave up the ghost due to complications and alleged inadequate medical attention. According to the officer in charge of the St. Francis Primary Health Clinic, the woman went into labor in the early hours of 3rd March and was rushed to the facility in a wheelbarrow where she completed the delivery of the babies.
During my coming from the wheelbarrow, he delivered another one inside wheelbarrow, making 2. So I just called one of my doctors here so that she will help me to palpate her. I suspect that another one there inside. She delivered another one, making 3. So as he didn't come antenatal, he just born another one, making 4.
The community health worker further explained that the 4 babies were delivered prematurely and that the woman's condition deteriorated due to insufficient blood.
During our test, the woman, the blood had been short. So we have prepared to give her a solution of that. So immediately we are giving that blood, he collapsed.
Father of the deceased said his daughter had lost her husband and the in-laws could not take proper care of her, even in pregnancy, and had 3 surviving children, compelling him to move the daughter and the children back to his home when the incident occurred. He blamed the death of his daughter on her failure to access antenatal services.
Go there for treatment. She refused. Not necessary that I don't have money to manage the lady. At times he said to me he's going for antenatal care somewhere. I don't know that that's somewhere. So I was very annoyed that why going? No information.
We appreciate the chairman, council, Ushongo local government. We appreciate the governor of Benue State, Governor Eumem Alia, for the action he has taken quickly to visit our community.
Incidents such as the death of these quadruplets and their mother will continue to be a reminder of the importance of basic amenities such as standard healthcare centers in rural communities.
No woman and her baby should die during childbirth. This is sad. We need to expedite actions to reduce the prevalence of maternal mortality. Let's take another break. More reports when we return. This is Newsline on NTA. In the spirit of unity and inclusivity, the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, hosted a special Ramadan iftar for media stakeholders and labor leaders in the state. The gathering, reflecting Governor Zulum's commitment to people-oriented governance, brought together top government officials, key stakeholders and influential personalities to break their fast in an atmosphere of camaraderie and mutual respect. The event also served as a platform for meaningful dialogue, reinforcing partnerships between the government, media and the labor sector. Mohamed Goni takes the story from here.
A relaxed atmosphere occasioned by exchange of pleasantries after the day's religious obligation, with much to eat and drink, all in the spirit of the ongoing Ramadan fast made possible by the state government. The mission was mainly to show the outside world that those in attendance who are often at odds with government due to their respective roles can come together. Typical of the event, some selected heads were given the opportunity to speak up their minds on issues that affect those they represent.
We want to make use of this opportunity to appreciate His Excellency for all what you have been doing to the civil servant of Borno State, especially the recent release of 8 billion naira to our retirees, both in the NTA and the state. These have put a smile on the faces of our families of retirees. Your Excellency, we are not surprised because this act of kindness and thoughtfulness has been a signature of your commitment to fostering a strong and harmonious relationship between the working journalists and the government in Borno State.
Professor Osman Tar is the commissioner whose ministry is pretending anything to do with the media and internal security.
Given that the Borno State government, under His Excellency, has invested hugely in the media and in the labor, I want to crave your indulgence for each and every one of us seated here, and those under our subservience, those working under us. I want to crave your indulgence to continue to work for Borno.
To the chief host and Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, the gathering clearly demonstrates the commitment of his administration to always ensure the relationship between the media players and the labor remain cordial for mutually beneficial results.
I want to assure you that, inshallah, I those who often for more interactions with the Nigerian Labour Congress as well as the Nigerian Union of Journalists for labor activities.
On some of the contentious issues raised by the leadership of the two unions, the governor's response was reassuring.
Thank you, Mohammed. Now, members of the People's Democratic Party in Anyocha North local government area of Delta State have passed a vote of confidence in Governor Sheriff Francis Obore-Wori for his sterling performance, endorsing him as sole candidate for re-election in the 2027 general elections. The party chapter also commended the efforts of the immediate past minority leader of the House of Representatives, Ndudi Elumelu, in moving the party forward. Thelma Eliogu will tell us more.
The confidence vote and endorsement of the governor came during an enlarged meeting of party leaders and stakeholders hosted by Honorable Ndudi Elumelu at his town hall in Onichukwu. The delegation, led by a BOT member, Chief Nkemo Kwofu, and presided over by the local government party chairman, Dr. Charles Ochei, unanimously adopted the motion moved by Chief Dan Okenyi and seconded by Ogbuefi Nnamdi Mohanye and the leader of the legislative arm, Uzo Raphael. The party applauded Governor Obore-Wori's achievements in less than 2 years in office, particularly his commitment to the More agenda, which they say has brought significant infrastructural, economic and human capital development to Anyocha North and the entire state. Speaking at the event, Honorable Ndude Lumelu emphasized that Anyocha North remains a stronghold of the PDP, contrary to social media speculations. He assured that the local government will continue to support Governor Oborowori and the party.
Haven't looked at soft, the evaluated their performance for the years. I have not gone to any bank to borrow. Spending only what he met and what he's receiving. It shows self-contentment as a leader. That is why we have firstly put our confidence on him and his deputies.
Other leaders who spoke lauded the efforts of the governor in moving the state forward.
He has been doing wonderfully well all around Delta State.
Having considered and examined the governor's performance in 3 local governments, we believe that if given another chance, we will do far better than what he's doing now.
Party politics is about loyalty, and the governor has done a lot for us in this local government.
All ward chairmen, members of the executive, as well as councillors of Anyocha North local government were present at the meeting.
Call it a societal cancer, you wouldn't be far off. For many concerned citizens, the Yahoo phenomenon has become a devastating tragedy unfolding before our very eyes. This menace is destroying lives, reputations, and eroding our traditional values. The situation has taken a darker turn into the margins of Yahoo Plus, a scourge ravaging our youth, economy, and collective moral fabric. Where did we go wrong, and where is this destructive path leading us? Informa IHOJ investigates this menace and its far-reaching implications.
Nigerians promote the values of hard work, diligence, and sincerity of purpose right from the homes. But today, the society is obviously drifting off. It started with a crave for easy money, of getting rich quick without breaking a sweat, the allure of cybercrime with its promise of fat bank accounts and luxurious lifestyles proved too tempting for many young people to resist. And so they joined the ranks of the Yahoo Boys, a group of young people who use the internet to scam, defraud, and deceive unsuspecting victims both locally and internationally.
Yahoo is a social problem that our society is currently battling with, whereby people that are working hard are no longer seen as making it. People celebrate people that are doing Yahoo things.
Society has really decayed and there are no values anymore. So as long as you do anything you can do to get the money, you just do it. That's just the foundation of Yahoo.
I want to have what all my friends are having. And most of the times I may be friends with the rich guys, which their parents are aware to do. And the best way is for me to use my phone to actually balance it.
He is a student of a higher institution in Nigeria, and he holds the blame back to the parents and leaders.
So you know where a child grew up saying his mom work out her whole back just to provide food on the table. And he's seeing friends that once they sit down, it start coming. So because of that thought, and I don't want my mom to struggle. And your mom is always like, this person they do me, go bring money, come.
You see some parents, you see they want to push their sons to use their son as competition. Like, look at this person's son, what are you doing? And some of them is that their parents are even pushing them when it comes to the female factors.
So as the Yahoo Boys' activities continue to thrive, a more sinister and disturbing trend emerged, the Yahoo Plus phenomenon, where young people resort to ritualistic and occultic practices.
People are losing their life, particularly young girls who are vulnerable to this. They get in with these Yahoo Boys, and some of them, at the end of the day, they lose their life. The parts of their bodies are disembarked. Some, the family don't even get to see their corpse. It's as bad as that.
It's because girls are obsessed over material things. So those urge for things makes them mingle with those boys, and they use them for ritual and stuff.
Maybe they are envying their friend that maybe is dating one Yahoo boy, or
their friend is also a Yahoo boy, so they want to be like that person. They want to spend like that person too. They want to have what that person has.
The implications of these activities are far-reaching and devastating.
It will damage the economy, to destroy lives, to destroy families.
For many young people, the situation seems hopeless with no way out in sight. They lament of no opportunities and no future, regretting that some young people are forced to choose between a life of poverty and desperation or a life of crime and deception.
It's getting dangerous by the day. The next opening, what you will hear, different stories every day.
Well, the preachers will do their work. They should preach more. Then parents too.
The government can be able to assess these Yahoo boys and give them jobs, teach them the good side of using the internet, then can change a lot of things.
How can we save our young people from this tragedy to restore hope to a generation that's lost its way? These are questions we must answer as soon as possible before it gets too late.
Well, the urge for material things is eating deep. Parents in society must agree to put an end to this, especially the family. Parents need to sit up and bring up their children appropriately, instilling values in them. Another break beckons. Newsline, we'll be right back. Welcome back. This next report is about a beauty trend that enhances the eyes, talking about false eyelashes. But do you know that beneath this glamour of false eyelashes lie a lesser-known reality, which may come with unexpected health risks? Onome Okadibo explores this beauty appeal, the dramatic flair to the eyes, and potential price women pay for this touch of elegance.
As women strive to achieve the illusion of perfection in appearance, they often overlook the risks that comes with it, as false lashes has become a symbol of glamour and sophistication.
It's just like fashion, like the trending thing to enhance the beauty.
Beauty, they say, lies in the eyes of the beholder. As for the men, let's find out their views.
Especially dark-skinned girls, when they fix lashes, that is not that long one, but that's modern, moderate. It brings their beauty. It makes them look attractive, scintillating for guys. It's very good. I like it personally. I don't know about others, but I like it.
They look more beautiful, and I think I like a woman that fixes eyelashes.
I believe in the natural beauty. Natural beauty is more preferable to me than eyelashes.
For some ladies, it is a big no.
When they go to fix their lashes, maybe by mistake, they will not trick something inside the person's eye.
I believe it's actually harmful to the health, the eyes in particular. You see this, my eyes here, it's very important to me, and I don't allow anything go close to it because I believe these eyes are gone. I'm as good as useless.
Beauty experts said if you must fix lashes, ladies should seek for safer alternatives to reduce health risk.
I use is known by NAFDAC. It's not harmful, and I make sure that I buy new products, and I make sure that I check expiring dates so that it's not harmful to the customer.
An eye specialist said the weight and the tension from false lashes can cause eyelid damage, including drooping or saggy eye.
I've gone blind as a result of the false lashes because in the process of appending that, I once had a patient that in the course of appending that, the liquid they use in appending touched the cornea. She had a cornea abrasion, which she did not come to the hospital on time for us to handle it. And as a result, the cornea got into corneal ulcer and became a problem.
Remember, beauty should not come at the cost of your health. Be informed, take precaution, and prioritize your well-being.
Well, it's actually a choice, but from a segment of sisterhood, please never lose a part of the body to fashion. Don't get botched. Edo State has been shaken to its core once again as residents of Ewutubu quarters woke up to a horrific sight on Friday morning. Lawrence Edobo, a 44-year-old man, was found brutally murdered, his head severed from his body. Anwuli Okolo visited the scene to gather more information on this gruesome and disturbing crime.
The ugly incident, according to residents, was seen around 3 a.m. Friday
when the body was discovered in the middle of the road.
Exactly.
My sister-in-law rushed down because I live adjacent. That's my house here. My younger ones and the rest, they stays here. But I should call my brother. Has been killed. It's like he's the one there. So that's how we rushed out. Getting to the scene, I met my brother, killed in a pool of blood, and his head was not there. That was when I shouted.
It will be another kind after one. They were coming from, you people saw one burial at a bus stop there. So they went to the burial eve. It was when it was coming from the burial eve. This thing happened.
The suspect was said to be caught in a neighboring community, Ford Junction, in same Ewotribu quarters, by men of the Edo State Vigilante Corps, who found the suspect with the head of Lawrence in a bag.
They draw me, come back, they started to beat me. I even asked them what happened, what I do. They provide this thing, come outside.
As they come provide that, what you can carry on?
No, people who missing, so I know.
Now you can carry the human head.
No, I'm not carrying.
Where you foresee this human head?
I don't know. Now,
you don't know?
Now for years now, they see me hold on like this.
Now for years they see me hold on like this. And for years.
The boy has not yet confessed to that effect. So we don't want the case to be, swept under the carpet.
From Ewotubu station, they took him to State CID. So they are still on the case. They are still investigating. They asked us to come again on Monday. I want to beg the government to please help us. We need justice for Lawrence Edobo.
Lawrence Edobo, aged 44, was a fashion designer with his shop barely 25 feet from the place of death. His family and neighbors described him as a jolly good fellow.
He is somebody that do make people, laugh, brings people together.
I was so very touched about the death. He's a very nice guy, popular guy in the area. So
if you go around this community, they will attest to it.
Let's be more careful. We will follow up on this case. Let's take our last break. A somber atmosphere pervaded the Cocking Church in Rantia Jos as mourners from diverse backgrounds gathered to bid final farewell to late Pastor Christopher Chungwang Pam. Ijoma Ozemena brings us moments from the funeral service captured exclusively for Newsline.
Funeral service where family members, friends, colleagues, the clergy and other sympathizers. They all came to pay their last respect to the deceased, which they describe as calm, religious, hardworking, and friendly.
He taught me how to pray, not only to pray, but to pray the word of God. You say, whatever you have, just look for the word and pray it.
Prepared for the kingdom, focuses on his last moment. And that is why the Bible urges us to be careful, to be sensitive, day in, day out, to watch over our going and our coming.
He was a devout Christian who stood for what was right. Unity, family was his watchword throughout his life.
He was a man of many faces, many strengths and many graces. He loved God, loved us, loved his wife. He was always deliberate, never leaving anything to chance.
Very principled man, and he sticks. I wrote in the tribute, I say he does not shift like a flint.
He was humble, he was loving, he was a committed Christian, he was a very, very faithful family man, a unifying factor in our family.
We're happy that we know where he's going and we have accepted it. That's why we are celebrating his exit.
A service of songs earlier held in his family house where prayers were offered for the repose of his soul. Remains of the deceased were later lowered at his family burial ground in Du.
Perfect submission, always at rest.
Da Christopher Chungwang passed on at 69.
May his soul rest in peace. As the pioneer broadcaster and former Director General NBC, Thomas Adaba, was laid to rest, a profound sense of loss hung in the air. Family, friends and well-wishers gathered to honor him, reflecting on a life that left an indelible mark on the media landscape. Though parting was painful, there was an undeniable acceptance that fate had taken its course. The overwhelming outpouring of love and admiration spoke volumes about his lasting impact. Government officials, media personalities, and colleagues from the Nigerian Television Authority came to celebrate his legacies. It's the final journey for a distinguished philanthropist and advocate of justice, Tom Adaba. The funeral rites commenced with a wake at the Catholic Archangel's Church, Gudu, Abuja, where family, friends and well-wishers gathered to honor his memory. Through heartfelt eulogies, they celebrated his remarkable legacy and enduring impacts.
Fighting for people when they're being not justly treated, just making sure that things go well, and of course being disciplined, every single thing.
Protective shadow over us as a family. He was a man of integrity.
Born July 2, 1941, Tom Adaba, an illustrious son of Kogi State, a devout Catholic, he was a Grand Knight of St. Mulumba, dedicated his life to faith, service, and humanity.
He molded generations of broadcasters, not just for Nigeria, but for the continent.
He was one that would not compromise professionalism.
At the funeral mass, John Cardinal Onayekon and other officiating priests urged mourners to live righteously, reminding them of the inevitability of death and the importance of life well spent.
He loved his God and served his God with all his heart and mind.
After the mass, his remains were laid to rest at Gudu Cemetery.
It dawns on everyone that he's gone, and so sad. My sympathies go with the family.
Simple, humble, and full of integrity.
The eldest of 6 siblings, Tom Adaba discovered his passion for broadcasting in the 1960s. While attending Teachers College in Kano, he became the first principal of the NTA TV College, Rayfield, Jos, in 1980. Between 1990 and 1992, he served as General Manager of NTA Makurdi and later as Deputy Director of Operations at NTA Lagos. In 1992, following his appointment as the Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, he transformed the media landscape by introducing private broadcasting in Nigeria. He retired in 1999, leaving behind an unmatched legacy in the industry. Beyond NBC, he made significant contributions as a board member of Dire Communications and lent his expertise to international organizations like the UNDP and the World Bank. Between 1998 and 1992, he served as president of the African Council on Communication Education in Nairobi, Kenya. Honored both locally and internationally, he was awarded the National Honor of Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON, in 2008. Named an Ambassador of Peace by the Universal Peace Federation in 2006, and received numerous other recognitions from Igbira land and beyond. Truly, he was a good man. In a grand celebration of Benin's rich cultural heritage, the kingdom has honored the passing of the revered Yoruba, mother of Oba Ewa II. Over 15 days, ancient rituals and time-honored traditions unfolded, paying tribute to a woman whose legacy remains deeply woven into the fabric of Benin royalty. Amoni Okole takes us through the remarkable farewell where history, spirituality and tradition merged in a send-off truly fit for a queen.
The burial of a king's mother is no ordinary event. Split across 15 distinct days and an extra 21 days of dancing, each ceremony serves a purpose in ensuring the royal matriarch's peaceful transition to the ancestral realm. The first social ceremony, known as Izakwe, marks the official cleansing and rite of passage to the ancestral world. The procession began at the palace of the Iyoba, Oba's mother, at 5 Junction in Benin City, and climaxed at her statue, Iyoba Omoni Poyeme, amidst cheers by Benin City residents. The Oba on the streets is indeed a rare occasion, but he came out in reverence to his mother, whose transit he could not celebrate 49 years ago because he was not yet crowned king. His journey, in company of the Emir of Kanu, palace functionaries and warriors, climaxed at the Queen Emotan Shrine to pay homage. Queen Emotan will always be remembered for the role she played in helping Obayewaide I ascend the throne, who in turn immortalized her by building her grave where she sold wares at the heart of the Oba's market and planted a red tree on her graveside and made her grave a place of homage during funeral processions of importance in the kingdom.
Isoton is paying, respect and performing rites at various historical shrines, especially some sites which are for very highly placed Iyobas, great women of the kingdom.
It's one thing to be an Oba. It's another thing to have the privilege and opportunity to be able to perform this rite.
He's completing the traditional rites to put the mother's name in gold so that Egwayoba can effectively take off during his time.
It's an amazing day. As you can see, the turnout is awesome and Benin is standing still for the great king of his kingdom.
Then came the Ekasa, a spiritual dance.
You be like a gid, the Ebe, and the Gwada said, they are spiritually created by the ancestors.
A Kasa dance is not a cultural dance, like some people would mistake it to be. It's not a dance that is common.
The dance, a Kasa, it took place away all the odds in the land and also bring blessings in the land.
We perform this Okele activity solely when we are doing this traditional ceremony. It is not an activity you will do ordinarily. It's only for the Oba of Benin.
What we have witnessed here transcends a mere funeral. It is a living cultural archive, 15 days of pomp and ceremony that's hardly been witnessed by many in their lifetime, and some may never witness again. The Benin Kingdom is one full of many traditions and customs, and Obayewaide II is one greatly inspired by the preservation and resurrection of sacred rites.
And on this note, we end Newsline tonight. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Remember, the weather is hot. Stay hydrated. We'll see you next week.